Hello people, iBenSK has uploaded a pretty interesting video recently, and I thought I'm usually the guy that makes the crazy predictions, so I'm just gonna look what he's talking about basically, and I haven't watched the video yet, I saw a couple of seconds because I wanted to know if he's talking with that LSD voice that he was talking with back then in the COPS times. And luckily he isn't, because if he would have, I wouldn't be making this video because I can't watch that for 10 minutes straight. So, um, this video is unscripted, so to the iBenSK viewers, who am I? I am someone that has a lot of experience in this community, and I just want to look what iBenSK has uploaded after 2 years or 1.5 years of basically making no COPS content. So yeah, I've been someone that has seen the rising and downfall of critical ops, and yeah, uh, as I said, the video is unscripted. So in case you don't know, my first language is not English, so it might happen that I have to think about a sentence for a second because yeah, you know, right? So I guess we're just gonna start off and see what he has to say. By the way, the video's on 360p, so I don't get copyright claimed. So I don't think that he will have visual proof or something for anything that he's talking about. So I think we're just gonna. I think it's enough if we hear his sound. So I guess let's go.
Hey guys, iBenSK here, or yo, what is up guys, Avi here, and that was a terrible intro. Today,
It indeed was a terrible um, fucking start of a video,
I
but
have a brand
it's
new
fine.
video for you guys, and I'm going to be explaining how I had not only predicted, but also led to the downfall of a game known as Critical Ops.
I don't know anything about him predicting anything about Critical Ops and him being involved in the downfall of Critical Ops. Not I don't know anything about that, and it would really wonder. I would really wonder if this is actually the case, because then I would have missed something. So that's fun.
And pretty much, I'm just going to start out right now by saying I was right. I'm very sophisticated, and for people who know my past, I was freaking right. And I'm so happy to be so because so many people were against my opinion. But for those who do not understand this video or do not understand my past or don't even know my past, I used to have a YouTube channel known as iBenSK.
I know his past. I've been there when he started making YouTube. I've watched a couple of his videos. I didn't like his montage, like his editing style with all those emotes, so I stopped watching him after time. Then I started watching a couple of his videos again when this beef with Bates and Angel came around, and then he left for PUBG Mobile, and I also went to PUBG Mobile, and he was kind of making rather bad content for it because he was not too bad in COPS, but not good either, but not too bad. But in PUBG Mobile, he literally had no idea of what he was talking about, making how to get to Conqueror videos by even if he was silver or gold himself, and uploading fucking no scopes and sniper montages against people, like against bots, which is like literally not even hard, even on 30 FPS. But let's go on.
iBenSK was a YouTube channel created 2 years ago during the month of May. And long story short, I played a game known as Critical Ops. I sniped a lot, did a bunch of sniper montages. People loved them. Yada yada.
Yeah, some people love them, some people hated them. I'm rather part of the number two because, yeah, as I said, I didn't like his editing style.
Yada yada. It's pretty much the same story as PUBG Mobile if you want to consider it as that. And I was very well known for my sniping, and people enjoyed it. So
Well known and well hated, basically. Yeah, majority of the people that watched competitive videos didn't really like his sniping style. He was playing quite flashy and inconsistent, so the clips was public clips only. So yeah, I didn't really know what to say about that.
oh yeah. Now for people who are still viewers of mine, dating all the way back to my old YouTube channel.
I kind of am.
And towards critical ops, you should know that during that point of time, I had made a prediction of the game's downfall. And
two things. As I said, I don't know anything about that prediction, and only got sniper shot from the entire 30 minutes I played. I can see that playing PUBG Mobile makes you really rusty at the ops if you play it for longer. Like, even though he's not playing on a such high level like Naymat or even me, I was playing on quite high level. If you remember that I'm on 30 FPS, but that's not the point here.
that prediction went pretty much viral. Now, for starters,
I can't really tell if that prediction went viral because I think if it would have went viral in a time where I literally watched Siob's videos for like several hours a day, I think I would have noticed that. So I don't know.
actually had came out and said just I was the first content creator or just the first person to publicly say that this game is terrible.
I'm doubting that, to be honest. 1 year ago I didn't have Twitter, so I can't tell whether people had posted stuff like that on Twitter. But I really am pretty sure that you haven't been the first content creator that has talked about the game's downfall, because if I remember that right, Bates had made a video about that exact topic back then. Even I made a video like 1 year ago where I showed tips to where I showed the developers what to do. I don't know if it was 1 year ago. I think it was like 7 months ago or something. If he made a video, I haven't seen it, so I can't really tell. But I don't really think that he was the first one.
It's complete shit. I was the first person to come out, not only being a content creator saying that, but also just being a person publicly saying that. I just wanted to.
Okay, that's 100% wrong, because even if a guy with one followers on Twitter just said, "Mate, your game sucks," right? Which definitely has been the case prior to 1 year ago, especially like 2016 days when TPHX and all those teams like SXC or even before were still active, right? People were constantly talking about how bad the game is with the first real hacker wave, and when the PC version was shut down, people were talking about how bad the game is because many people loved it on PC. Some of my mates even started hacking to get their PC accounts banned because they didn't want to play on mobile. And yeah, so I can't really count that as quote unquote the first one to ever say something against the devs.
Repeat that. And I came out, I said this game is awful, it's gonna get worse and worse. I started making predictions about the game.
That a game that is already starting to die is getting worse. Like, you don't need a crystal ball for that, and I wouldn't consider that a fucking prediction, because, in my opinion, 1 year ago, the major, like the COPS LAN, had happened, and I'm pretty certain that at this point, when CFE said, "Yeah, we're not gonna have another LAN this year," people were already saying, "Yeah, if they don't finish, like if they don't proceed with supporting the comp scene, then the game's gonna die." People said that at this point, and that was like at the same time or even longer ago. Even so, I can't really say that that's 100% the case.
Moving forward into the future, I make more predictions. I warn the community, and I also say myself that I'm going to be quitting this game as the release of PUBG Mobile comes during that point of time.
Okay, PUBG Mobile released 1 year ago, I think in April, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, at this point, a lot of critical ops content creators and pro players, because back then we even had pro players, now we don't. People quit back then, me including. King A quit, from the more popular names. Genesis quit, Naymat quit, entire Nova roster quit. Gangster started leaving. Alpha left for Fortnite. The rest left for, except Joker, pretty much the rest of gangsters left for PUBG Mobile. And I wouldn't really consider you the first person to say something against the game at this point. But let's go on.
Time PUBG Mobile was being announced that it's going to be released soon during the month of, I think it was during the month of like May of 2018 or something. No, it was like March.
I'm certain that it was even earlier, because the Chinese version was being played by pretty much everyone that is now playing the game. Season 1 and Season 2. And prior to that, people were playing on Asia. And at this point it was kind of obvious that PUBG is going to be a big thing. And even though I don't support the game anymore and I don't like it, I have to admit that they did it well. Let's say it like that.
Somewhere during that point of time. Moving forward into the future, I had this crazy prediction. And like a prediction that you would not even think, like it was so detailed and so.
Okay, I'm pretty interested because I'm from what he said earlier, he's probably gonna say like, yeah, hackers will come back and all of that shit that you can just predict by simply being not an idiot. Because yeah, but let's go on.
Specific also, like you have to consider that, and I will tell what my prediction was in just a moment, but let me explain the scenario. Now, there was this clan that I'd known, I think they were known as like STDX or
On purpose, it just, I don't know. As someone that has been in the community for a year, like from his POV, he should remember one of the 5 biggest teams that to have ever existed in the game. So I don't know, but yeah, it's set to destroy.
or something like that. It's like set to destroy or something, set to destroy X. And in that clan there was an influencer known as Mr. Masturbates.
It's Mr. Bates, or in the very early days, Master Bates. Not, I don't think that he ever called himself both of them at the same time. And he was not just an influencer; he was the leader of the Siops team and a player as well. So, yay.
Or something of that name, or something under those lines. So he was a content creator who just disliked me completely because I made that prediction, or not made the prediction, but better yet, had made the decision to come out publicly as a content creator.
That's just simply wrong. As far as I know, Bates or anyone else in the community never mentioned iBenSK. Up until the point where he started beefing with Angel about Angel being ass with Sniper and him wanting to 1v1. And Bates and Angel were good friends at the time, so Bates tried to defend his mate. And that's how all of that originated. Like, at least from what I know from that entire thing, I think. I haven't noticed everything that was on Discord and shit, because I just don't care about that. But from what was publicly spoken, the initiative, like, what happened first was him talking shit on Angel for being bad at Sniper, and Bates defending him. I think Ben wrote him a comment, wrote a comment below Angel's video. Maybe I find it and I edit right here, but probably won't because I don't know what video it is. But
Die. And for those reasons, yet again, as I mentioned before, he disliked me, or rather hated me.
I don't think, yeah, as I said, I don't think that it's because of that. And the Angel thing happened before he quit, obviously. So it's rather because of that, and not because of what he said.
Now, for my crazy predictions, there was a lot of predictions that I had made, as specifically towards Mr. Bates, but just as an overall. And I'll just list them right now, and then they do get actually quite crazy. I'll leave the crazy ones just for the end. Now, for one, I predict that there's going to be a lot more hackers as the game passes by, because they're not going to add good anti-hack systems.
So, problem, same with what I mentioned in the Chris video. People just don't have an idea of how esports or game development in itself works. Like, it's not something that an anti-cheat is not something that you can just make in like 2 hours. An anti-cheat basically involves the developers having to try every single client themselves, and look what parts of the game files are edited, and then they have to find a way to close to make it basically impossible to breach the anti-cheat. Anti-hack is such a retarded word. To breach the anti-cheat without actually changing anything about the game itself. So that's basically quite a hard thing. And back then, when like a year ago or 1.5 years ago, this entire thing, hacks were so common because main reason why hacks are so common in COPS. Back then, like meanwhile it's different, but back then, just a slight few percent of the hackers were hacking on iOS, because back then, of course, there were jailbreaks, but iOS was way harder to hack than Android. So on Android, you could have hideable clients and all of that shit, because Google Play slash Apple, Google Play slash Google itself doesn't really check the apps that are getting updated, that are getting uploaded in the Play Store, and in order to hack on iOS, you obviously need a jailbreak, and it's way harder to change the game files itself. So kids that are making the majority of the hackers are not going to take the time of figuring out how to hack on iOS, and just on Android it's basically super simple. You can just watch a fucking tutorial that's like 2 minutes long. Yeah, it's not like Critical Force doesn't try to update their anti-cheat, but it's just not easy. And back then with the free clients, there were like 100 clients at one time, and it takes time till all the security issues are found within those clients, and that's why it took so long.
Systems until they truly start noticing that a lot of their community is getting aggravated, making the decision to leave. All right, I also
The decision to leave, basically, the casual players didn't leave the community because the game was bad. They left the community because other games rather fitted their needs. For example, PUBG Mobile is a game that is not really fully based on skill. Like, of course, gunfights and shit are based on skill. I don't doubt that. But snaking, camping in grass, playing TPP in itself is something that doesn't require that much of skill. And no matter how good you are, if you get bullshit loot, you will still die to absolute no hands. And that's a thing that is not supposed to happen in COPS. And back then, something like that wasn't happening because the game was fully skill based. Because yeah, the devs didn't need to build a game on their casual scene, because they lost their entire pro scene because of other business decisions that just don't belong into a game like that. So yeah, people left because PUBG Mobile or Fortnite was hyped, not because the ops was bad initially. Most pro players left because the ops was bad. But for casuals, the game is good and has always been good. There's no problem as a casual player that you have with COPS.
make predictions that the servers of the game were going to get worse, or they were going to remove more servers.
So to my point of knowledge, they didn't remove any servers, at least not in EU. And to my point of knowledge, servers have not been getting worse. Basically, almost like 2 or 3 months ago, the ping was actually super well. Like, compared to now, my ping was almost like 30 or 40 better, which is fucking insane. And that was like the thing for a few days, a month, or maybe like just say like 2 or 3 weeks, and then it went bad again. But there was no time where the servers were like super ass, or like so ass to an extent where people said, I'm gonna quit exclusively because the servers suck. That never happened.
I was making predictions that they would make less updates, or the updates would just get worse and worse. And
That's actually not true. Meanwhile, Critical Force is updating the game monthly. Back then they didn't. Every update has major changes to rather the game's meta, or adds a new map or gun, or new skins, so that's not the case either. So that point is absolute bullshit. The updates are higher quality, they are coming out more often, and they usually have less bugs. Except this Bomb has been planted on A shit, which was something simple and has been fixed in a few days.
and just be unnecessary and foolish. I made predictions.
Yeah, unnecessary updates are because of casual players. That has nothing to do with you, with comp players. Has nothing to do with that. It's just Critical Ops casual community can't accept that. They, for example, can't buy the pass with watching ads anymore, with daily missions, I mean. They don't accept that, and because of that, the game is dying, and Critical Force has to build the game even more for casual needs, because in this case, the game's comp scene is dead at the moment, so there's no money coming in from tournaments or sponsorships. So the only thing they're getting money with are their in-game shit. So they have to release updates that will make people spend money. But even though that's fully obvious that Critical Force needs money, because they have like they spend like 100k a month for just salary and office rent. So just for that, it's obvious that they need money, and I wouldn't blame that on anyone because Critical Force is not a big company such as Tencent or Valve. They always have this little money issue, and of course it's obvious, but in my opinion, Critical Force right now found a pretty good balance between releasing unnecessary bullshit updates and actually making enough money. The Critical Pass was absolutely impressive idea. Like, not impressive because it's from Fortnite, obviously, but in my opinion, a Battle Pass is still the best thing to give out skins to everyone that is playing actively. So,
Predictions that the game would get laggier, it would have more bugs, more glitches and whatnot.
I mentioned that with the bugs and glitches, it's compared to back then. Meanwhile, there are way less unintended issues. Like, all the things that prevent the game from being a super good game are things that are intended by the developers to help their casual player base. It's nothing that really comes in because Critical Force is too stupid to. The developers are too stupid to program their game properly. It's not because of that. It's intended features that are not helping the pro scene at all. Quote unquote pro scene. But let's go.
And it would just be much worse over time. And then I also made other predictions, which I will be speaking about further on, but I want to get to the crazy ones. I predict that, and this is very detailed and specific, I don't remember exactly what I had said because there's no specific proof about it, but I predict that there will be a developer or developers who would be scamming the system of competitive for critical ops.
So, to an extent, that's actually true. Um, there was one developer in particular that was breaking competitive, but that was not. He wasn't doing that from his own perspective. He was just a lazy fucker. Like, he wasn't doing that to make profit for himself. He was doing that because he was a lazy fucker. So that's not really entirely true. And by the way, if you didn't know, the dev is Selpha. Basically, for 2 years or something, everyone like, there were no community tournaments hosted anymore because Selpha, that was the tournament organizer dev, basically was quote unquote on vacation and didn't respond to any requests in terms of sending cases to people that won them, accepting new tournaments, hosting new seasons. All of that just didn't happen for almost 2 years, which killed every single tournament. Like, that was community based, that was built from community. Galaxy Draft tournament was killed because of that. Another tournament series of one of my mates, Level Up, was killed because of that. And it's hella fucking obvious that people don't want to host tournaments out of their own pocket for a game that is not going to give them anything back. Like, back then, you could there was actually a rule established. If you got a tier 3 tournament, like, that means you can stream it and shit. You have a professional server, you can stream it, you have a YouTube channel, you upload highlights, you have a caster. You need all of that, and you were a tier 3 tourney. And you had to put a prize pool, which usually was paid by people like Legacy from D2R, for those people. And if you actually had a tier 3 tournament, you could get one of the tournament staff people the blue mod tag, which was cool, I guess, even though it was quite unnecessary, except showing off that you're a mod. And the even better thing was the entire staff team got 1,000 cases if there was a specific view account hit during the stream. I think it was 500 live viewers or something. And if you hit that, you immediately get 1,000 cases for the staff members. And which would have been like 300 cases. Like, I hosted Level Up with the caster, one of my mates, and myself. And we would have all gotten 333 cases, which is fucking insane back then, because there were no premium cases or anything. That would have been, with ease, fucking 50 cases are $50. So that would have, with ease, been like $300 or something. And you wanted that. $300 for free in cases is fucking amazing. And that service not being continued basically killed the comp scene. He's more or less right with that, but as far as I know, Selpha didn't do that because, yeah, as I said, He didn't do that to harvest or to farm money for himself. He was just a lazy fucker. But let's go on.
Where it would be pretty much they would be allowing hackers to play in competitive. Not only that,
So from the developer's side, that never happened. To as far as I know, the only thing that I know to that extent is IFT, which basically allowed people that were known to be hacking and were banned because of that from other tourneys, allowed them to play, just ignored it basically. And also the tournaments being fixed and shit, like the Team Liquid tournament recently, stuff like that. But that's not involvement from the developers. That's community based because, to be honest, if you would be making tons and tons of fucking hours of your day and put it into a server, like setting up a server is not an easy task, like a really big server. Then you have to get a caster with decent followers, so you hit this 500 viewer milestone. Then you have to make brackets and shit. That's all stuff that's from your free time, and this stuff you will get rewarded for that in the end. If you hope you hope you get reward for that, but then you don't get reward for that, and it basically brings you nothing except a few people being on your server. So it's kind of obvious that if it doesn't matter anymore who wins and who loses and if the tournament is fair or not, because it doesn't matter anymore, that organizers give prizes to their friends or make extra rules to let them win. That's fucking obvious. Like, there's no way, like, even if IFT would fix an entire tourney, people would still play their fucking tournament because there's nothing else, you know? So, yeah, but let's go.
that I also make the prediction that one of the best clans of the game, known as Gangstars, had hackers themselves, and
That's not hard to predict if the comp scene is going down, which already was happening at this point, where you say you predicted it, or where iBenSK said that he predicted it. I haven't seen any video proof of that yet, and I don't think that we will see any. It was kind of obvious that pro teams are going to hack, and that's basically the same thing right now, with a lot of people from pro teams being suspected of hacking or actually being banned for hacking. And that comes with the same thing with the tournaments. If there's no money on the line or anything else, and just your account, you can just fucking hack on a Smurf account and no one will ever find it out if you're not fucking hella obvious, right? And it's like Elite, and who was hacking as well? I think Zola. Why wouldn't they hack? Like, there was nothing on the line anymore. After the LAN, the game was dead. There was no comp scene anymore. What should they play for? Like, actually, that was... It's obvious to me that this will happen. I don't think that it's a super fucking crazy prediction, but yeah. Go on.
it was a huge scam and whatnot, and it would be absolutely viral if people had found out and would destroy the game. I even went further talking about how like half of the competitive scene is just hacking, and there's just this whole system where it's kind of like a black market if you want to consider it as that. Now, moving on forward, apparently, as I said before, Mr. Masturbates was in the voice call as I was.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The thing with the black market is kind of the case right now. And if he actually said that, that's quite impressive, but I don't think that he did, because no proof, you know. Black market, quote unquote, yeah. There's this one hacker that makes clients for people, and then he makes it for free for pro players, and you basically just pay him to not tell your name to the devs. And yeah, I would consider that as a kind of black market. But as I said, that's not hard to predict that people will start hacking when the game loses. Like, when there's nothing to compete for, people will get bored and start hacking. It's hella obvious. But
Was saying this, he was recording the whole thing. Not only that, he was laughing at me about it. He uploaded it on towards towards YouTube.
I have never seen a video from Bates making fun of anyone, especially not iBenSK in VC. I didn't even know that Bates ever recorded VC in his videos. Like, yeah, of course, in his streams, but since he doesn't, he just like before he was streaming, I don't think that he ever recorded VC with his gameplay. But you know what I mean. There's no proof for it. Probably he's gonna get an excuse why he can't show the video, and just call me the prediction master, but that's gonna happen. And in my opinion, yeah, it's kind of weird to call people scamming or making fun of you, but don't have proof for it. Like, I don't know. It's just I don't know, but I don't think that Bates would do that for no reason. I still think that him making fun of anyone, or iBenSK in particular, was because of that whole Angel trash talker shit thing. Because as far as I know, that happened before the videos where iBenSK claims to have said or have predicted that shit. So Bates 100% acted not in kind of, yeah, you're a fucking idiot because you're criticizing me or the game. I don't think that any content creator would do that to make fun of someone, because he literally criticized the game. And I don't think that without any trash talk, Bates would do that. I haven't been received with him, but um, yeah, I know. I kind of follow him on Twitter or Discord for a kind quite bit of time, and he's just not that type of guy, in my opinion. But let's
He
go.
named the video "Ivy's a retard," then he renamed it, and now I believe he has taken it down. With that video.
Oh my god, I'm the fucking prediction master. There's no proof for him ever having uploaded this video. Yay.
It was pretty much just me saying everything and all my predictions I'm saying now. I got a ton of hate for it. Everyone thought it was the end of my career.
Why would it be the end of your career if you just predict something? Like, it's not like you say, I'm gonna delete my fucking channel when that doesn't happen. Like, you just said that might happen. It's a prediction. No one can blame you for predicting something wrong. Like, what the fuck? How should that be the downfall of your career? Just because Bates apparently uploaded a video laughing about predictions that are not realistic, because you said you're gonna have super fucking huge predictions that are gonna come, and if you call them super fucking huge and unexpected, then they probably were unexpected at the time you were saying them, if you ever said it. And what I predict, if Bates was ever laughing about your predictions, then it was because they were so fucking damn obvious. Because that people will start hacking in the game is obvious. Like, would you consider CS:GO a bad game just because people hack in comp? Like Kelly hacked, Emilio hacked, people like that. Emilio, I mean, sorry. People like that. Why should you blame the game for something when people hack in the game? Like, no matter how good your anti-cheat is, there's no way you can have a proof anti-cheat. You saw that at Fortnite. Fortnite was having a quote-unquote unbreachable anti-cheat for half a year, and then people started fly hacking, and it broke from one day to the other. So you can't tell me that you could make an unhackable anti-cheat. It's just not possible. Let's go on.
Obviously, it wasn't. Now, my iBenSK channel had 30k subs at the point of time. Now I own a channel known by my name, IB, which has like 220 something K subscribers. Now, as I was being scolded to be known as this retard or stupid crazy person for making these predictions in Critical Ops,
no one would ever call you a retard or a stupid person for making predictions, as I just said. People just disliked you because your community is full of fucking kids, and even if people criticized you in a way of constructive criticism, your fans still took that as a fucking personal offense to their fucking idol or something. Your fans are just annoying kids that are getting attracted by those weird emoji shit montages, or can't even call it montage. It's literally you standing in the public, fucking quickscoping 10,000 times and hitting one shot and uploading it. Like, it's just your playstyle was just flashy based on impressing kids. Everyone that has a brain and has ever sniped in Critical Ops in his life on a level outside of a public match knows that the shots that you were hitting, especially on phone, are not replicatable consistently. And that's why people made fun of you, because you were the cunt that was recording fucking 8 hours for a 10-minute video. And that's a fact. No one can say, yeah, 100% skill, right? Fuck off.
PUBG Mobile had released, I completely left Critical Ops in order to strive in success in this new game. Alright, and as time had passed by, by the days to the weeks to the months, my predictions had came to reality.
Yeah, the fucking predictions were hella fucking obvious. So let me just right here predict something as well. PUBG Mobile is gonna die because of many hackers playing tournaments and the devs not caring. And as soon as another game with similar prize pools comes out, may it be COD Mobile, may it be League of Legends Mobile, whatever, PUBG Mobile is gonna die because no one plays this game for fun anymore. So you can quote me on that one. As soon as COD Mobile comes out or any other game with similar prize pools than PUBG Mobile, everyone will fucking leave the game, similar to how it happened with COPS. That's not a prediction. That's not hard to do. It's simple human knowledge of how people work. No one is going to play a game that he has no fun of when there is something else that has as well as lucrative deals as the one that you don't have fun at, but you could have fun at the game that gives you the same money. So why would you play the one where you don't have fun instead of the game where you have fun and you literally don't have any disadvantages in it financially? People quit PUBG COPS for PUBG Mobile because of huge ass prize pools. That's not because the game was better essentially. I mean, I had 30 FPS and I won tournaments. Early tournaments and all that shit was so hella fucking easy because everyone was a retard and people came from Critical Ops to fucking PUBG Mobile, and because they could snipe someone in COPS with aim assist, they thought they are fucking gods or something and fucking overestimated themselves. Played fucking tournaments and lost everything. And then they came back to COPS as whiny bitches and were like, it's not like that. The Critical Ops is just better now. I'm back to COPS because I have 120 FPS and I don't have that in PUBG. Yeah, piss off.
PUBG Mobile becoming the #1 FPS game toward.
Did you just call PUBG Mobile an FPS game? That literally shows how low of, like, you just don't have any idea of mobile gaming, or gaming in particular. Like, PUBG Mobile is a battle royale game. It's not an FPS game because the majority of the tournaments that are played in Asia are third person. So first person shooter, aka FPS, doesn't fit for them. So you can't really call PUBG Mobile an FPS game. It's a battle royale game or a battle royale shooter at max. You can't call it a fucking FPS game. It's just no, it's just wrong. It's not opinion. It's just wrong.
Critical Ops becoming more careless about its community and about its game.
They got careless about the community because the community was just giving them shit. No one from this community literally fucking cared about their needs. Let me tell you something, okay? You actually killed Critical Ops, but not in the way you intended it in. You actually made all of your fucking kids that were sub to you, all of them, run to Critical Force and complain about the same fucking shit that you just complained about, because none of you, neither you or your community, thought about constructive criticism. Going to a developer or going to anyone and saying, yeah, your game is shit, what you're doing is shit, is not gonna change anything. You have to give them criticism, show them what they can improve instead of what they are doing wrong. That's like uploading a sniper tutorial and say just don't miss shots. That's fucking bullshit. That's not how criticism works. That's not how learning something works. That's like your teacher in maths telling you that 1 plus 1 isn't 4. It's fucking bullshit.
To the game having more bugs and more glitches, more hackers, the servers becoming worse and worse, and them not updating them.
As I mentioned, you can't update servers if there is no money coming in. There is no money coming in if your community consists of whiny kids. Your community will consist of whiny kids because of content creators like you bringing whiny kids into a game that isn't meant for people their age and people with that low of a fucking IQ that they can't even use their fucking fingers to do anything properly. People are ass at the game, even though the game is getting easier and easier with every fucking update, and that's your fucking fault. You are making people think they are fucking gods because they can hit one sniper shot in the public, then they play Spec Ops ranked and get fucked, call you hacker, people get banned because they get reported for no fucking reason, and you are expecting that people are saying, yeah, I got my account where I literally put $5,000 in just got banned for no fucking reason. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep playing this game. What the fuck do you expect?
Being careless about the updates or making them completely unnecessary.
As I said, being careless about the updates is simply wrong. They are not careless about the updates. The updates are better than back then. It's literally bullshit at this point. Like, you can, for the stuff where you were saying the servers were worse or something. I could say, yeah, it's your opinion. You played on NA, your NA servers were bad at the time or something. I can say, yeah, that's opinion. I can't prove that. But the fact that updates are getting worse or anything else about what the fuck you just said is just bullshit. It's not opinion. It's facts. It's wrong. It's straight up not correct.
Towards the community, towards the game, all these predictions that I had made had came to reality, and people started
They didn't.
noticing and were like, maybe Ivy was right. Maybe Ivy is a bit smarter than us.
He isn't. He's laughing about himself from predictions that are literally fucking obvious. That's like saying, there will be an earthquake next year in America. It's just hella fucking obvious that this will happen. It's not a prediction if you predict something that has a chance of 90% to happen. If you would have predicted the correct lottery numbers or who the fucking US president in 20 years will be, that's a prediction. That's something that's not expected. But every game has its downfall sometime. If the developers aren't fucking listening for their community. Cricket Force didn't listen for their community, that's why their game fell. And PUBG Mobile will fall, because the devs don't give a fuck about their community. It's the same fucking thing. Fucking PUBG Mobile is dead by late 2019 or early 2020 because some other game will just make it better than them. The only reason why people play PUBG Mobile, all especially the pro players, like you can just read all of their tweets on Twitter. No one of them is enjoying the game itself. Everyone is playing the game for prize pools, YouTube subs. Like, there are a few people that enjoy it, but as soon as another game comes out, they will quit, and that's a fact.
I'm sorry for saying that. I just had to say that. But it gets crazy. After a couple months, I believe, towards the release of PUBG Mobile, the best clan of Critical Ops, known as Gangsters, gets exposed for having hackers in its team.
Wrong. They didn't get exposed. Elite admitted himself that he was hacking and showed clips of him hacking and installing his client to iChase, who then covered it in a video. That's way different from saying, yeah, they got exposed, because it's just simply not right. Space Station Gaming got exposed for hacking. Elevate back then got exposed for hacking. At a time where 90% of the people watching this video haven't even played the game yet. Stuff just happens without you noticing, and you expect that everyone notices something and then tells you, but no one noticed shit. And no one saw your fucking video, so how about you just show some proof of what you said, instead of just saying, yeah, I said that. That's like saying, yeah, I predicted in 2004 that Donald Trump will be president. Like, cool.
And I don't know if those hackers performed in competitive, but regardless, it was in Gangsters.
You just have no fucking idea of anything, and you're literally just talking bullshit. Like, I don't want to complain about anyone, but could you please, if you make a video like that, like, you literally, I'm sitting here, I say the video's unscripted, I'm just reacting to stuff. I'm literally saying, I'm here, and I just want to give you my opinion on that. It's obvious that some stuff that I'm saying might not be 100% correct, but I'm trying to be as close to reality as possible. And you literally just say, I don't know if they played competitive, but I'm just gonna throw it out there that they probably were hacking in competitive. Because they were. Elite was hacking competitive, he was hacking in at least 2 tournaments, the rest isn't proven. Solar, we don't know yet. Or we will probably never know if he hacked, or when he hacked, or fuck off.
So they probably were, and it was chaotic at the point of time.
Oh yeah, and by the way, you didn't predict hacking happening in Seops, because pros were hacking before that. As I said, Elevate, and now Elevate player, was banned in 2014 for hacking in public. Obi-Wan or some of the other Nova guys were exposed and banned at the time where you weren't even playing the game yet. Kai from D2R was exposed by Joker and banned. And you're telling me that you predicted that pros will hack. How should I say it? That's like predicting that America has atomic bombs dropped on Japan. That's You can't predict something that's already happening and then say, yeah, I predicted it, boy.
Them being exposed for doing so, it was an issue for the game and an issue for competitive. So in response, the developers of Critical Ops had an anti-hack system in order to ban everybody from the game who has ever used or is using hacks.
Yeah, that's how an anti-cheat is supposed to work. How the fuck are they gonna do it otherwise? They banned 22 million accounts with their first, or 23, something 20 plus million accounts from 40 million downloads. It's a fucking shit ton. Like 40 million downloads on iOS, and they banned 20 million people just on one evening. And you are trying to tell me that their anti-cheat was bad when they just banned, let's say, if you compare, if you add PC to iOS to Android, and just say it was 40k on 40 million all of them. They just banned a sixth of their entire player base for hacking. And you're trying to tell me that their anti-cheat is bad. You literally just fucked your own argument.
All those people were banned, but those who were exposed for hacking and gangsters. I believe this is the story. If it's not the story, just help me out here. But regardless, I think it's the story.
Quality research. Elite or Solar, both of them had not like this. I would call it fucking purge or something. This purge of hackers happened before Elite or Solar or anyone else from the more recent bans was proven to be hacking. That was way before. So they were not banned. Like they were not banned because they had like a fucking god tier client or something. They just weren't hacking.
I'm reading this off of a YouTube video, pretty much.
Oh, perfect. So you even wrote the script and you didn't even take the few minutes of Googling to actually see and look at iChase's video where he literally explained everything. Nice.
And going further about, what I'm saying right now, it was absolutely chaotic and was exactly what I predicted.
How the fuck is it chaotic if people get banned that were hacking and people that weren't hacking get not banned? How is that? How is that a chaos?
That the developers were scamming the game under its competitive.
They weren't. They were just lazy at hosting tournaments, or at least their tournament organizer just was, don't know, fucking sleeping for 2 years or something.
Scene in order to allow hackers to play.
They didn't. That was community tournament hosts like IFT. IFT is still allowing people that are banned from playing, for example, playing the Lions or playing other tournaments, are allowing them to play. And I explained already, they are doing that because it doesn't matter anymore.
And those hackers were part of the best clan of Critical Ops.
The best clan of Critical Ops is actually PHiNiX. It's the most dominant team that has ever stepped foot into Critical Ops, together with like SXC or the old Hammers. You can't say Gangsters is the best team. Like, of course, they had Kinguin as a coach and analyst. He was doing a fucking insane job, but you can't say they were banned because of that. I mean, Elite and Solar weren't even playing at the LAN. Like, they weren't playing at the biggest events in the game, and you're saying that it was making a huge ass difference. Like, what did they win from the fucking hacks? They won in-game credits. Good job. No one was like, it wasn't even money press. Yeah, I think for one of the tournaments where Elite hacked, it was a money press actually, but the later hacks where you're saying meanwhile, right? No one, literally no one is winning money prizes right now. It's credits, and they don't cost anything. Critical Force just goes onto the account, adds a amount of credits or cases, and then it's fine. That it's literally not that complicated.
So it was completely crazy. Everyone was pissed off.
Hella fucking crazy, and everyone pissed off because people were banned that were supposed to be banned, and people that weren't supposed to be banned were not banned. Absolutely crazy.
I believe in the future those players were then banned under the anti-hack. I don't know what happened to.
My fucking god. I literally lose 500,000 brain cells every time I hear the word anti-hack. Holy fuck.
To their accounts in the future, actually. But regardless, everything that I predicted came to reality. This sort of black market system, if you would consider, there was a bunch of people or coders who created these hacks who were selling them towards competitive play.
They didn't sell them, as I said, they were giving them away for free, and that's still the case, they're giving them away for free, and the people just pay the hackers to not tell the devs the names of the people that are hacking. That's simply how it works.
Players, and then these competitive players would use them during tournaments or during competitive, during practice, whatever it might
Did you just... Fuck off. That literally shows that you've got no idea of fucking competitive. Why should you use a fucking hack during practice? What the fuck? Are you supposed to use fucking smoke scripts or something? Like, the fuck? Why would you use a fucking hack during a practice session? My god. And yeah, they hacked in competitive. People were always hacking in competitive. In every game, people are hacking in competitive. As long as it has competitive, as long as there are money prize pools, people that are not good at the game will try to still win money prize pools, even though they are bad. And that's the case for COPS as well as for every other comp game.
be. All those people got exposed. Half of the competitive scene was just hacking by itself.
Back then they weren't. It was a handful of people. Meanwhile, half would be correct, but we are talking about your 1 year old predictions here.
It was a huge chaotic scene.
It wasn't.
And at the end, everybody noticed that every single detail that I had made myself was true.
How often are you going to mention that? It's still not correct. But
And everyone started saying IB was right.
I never heard anyone say IB was right, and I never have seen any proof of the fact that you actually said that one day. As I said, it's bullshit.
Just because it was a cool title, I'm gonna say it right now. iBenSK, or also known as IB, had killed Critical Ops. Not only
You did. You had no involvement into the comp scene at all. The only thing you killed it with is making bullshit content and telling your viewers, which are 7-year-old kids, to roast or to annoy fucking Critical Force, to introduce the features that you wanted instead of what would have been good for the game. So yeah, you killed the game. In a way, you hadn't intended to do it, but instead, you are even, like, you're willingly breaking the game and talking trash about competitive players meanwhile, and then you are wondering about the people that you actually destroy an entire, like, people who were living from competitive back then, from competitive COPs. They had the potential to someday literally make a living from it, make millions even, if you look at PC games right now, or Fortnite Mobile, or PUBG Mobile. They could have made a living from that, and you destroyed it for them, and you are then complaining about them being mad about it, that you literally destroyed their future. Are you fucking delusional?
that, I had exactly predicted how the game would die, and
You
exactly
fucking
predicted
haven't.
how it would reach such a terrible downfall.
The terrible downfall actually is happening in your game right now in PUBG. So how about I make the exact same video saying that I predicted something, even though I totally haven't, and how about, yeah, we could do that. I'm just gonna show a bit of proof from people that are hacking, from like 20 billion years ago, and I'm just gonna say, yeah, that shows that the entire game is ass, and the difference is, I'm actually gonna show proof for the game being ass, because I know how to make a video and how to show people that I'm right, instead of you just saying, I might have predicted that someday back then, and then making your kids believe, oh my god, you can fucking open a merch store with crystal balls and a 7-year-old kid's gonna buy it.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for everything. For everybody who reminds me from my past. I still hate the game. I literally, I downloaded it for 30 minutes just to record this content of me playing it, and then that was literally it. So yeah. Yet again, thank you guys for watching. For if there's anything else that you want to add towards my predictions I made in the past that I had not added towards this video, or anything else that has happened towards this game, you can just...
I think I basically just did that. Showed you that every prediction you gave was rather obvious, wrong, or just bullshit. And yeah, I'm just gonna say thank you for 1 hour of free content. Thanks for the free watch time. Maybe you're gonna watch this video and gonna make an answer of it, but I don't think that you will ever do that, because yeah, that would actually need accepting criticism and yeah, hasn't worked that well in the past as well. Something else gonna happen in the last 30 seconds?
About it or whatnot. I don't care what you do. For those who do not know, I'm going to be leaving YouTube and leaving PUBG Mobile completely by August 26th in order to pursue my dreams for becoming a doctor and to focus on college by itself. So yeah, again, thank you guys for watching and peace.
So, without trying to talk about your real life, right? You're literally making content. Like, I haven't watched your recent videos, but I don't think that anything has changed in the past year, right? The videos that you're making take a time of 20 minutes to make. And you're trying to tell me that you don't have 20 minutes in per week to make a video. Like, I see college is important, I know, but I don't think that if you would like your community for anything else but money, I think you would still try to at least sometimes upload something. Like, no one expects fucking daily content when you're literally trying to become a doctor. But no, just fuck it. Thanks for watching the video. I liked wasting your time. See ya.